Hello, my name is Benjamin Hart. I'm an American attorney and the Managing Director of Integrity Legal here in Bangkok, Thailand. As the title of this video suggests, we're discussing K-1 fiancé visas. For those who are unaware, it is possible for an American citizen to bring the unmarried soon-to-be spouse or prospective spouse, to bring their unmarried soon-to-be spouse, prospective spouse, fiancé to the United States. The K-1 visa is issued with a 90-day validity of status in the country, in the United States. So upon arrival in K-1 status, the foreign fiancé of an American has 90 days in which to get married and file for what's called adjustment of status, which is basically a change of status to green card or lawful permanent residence in the United States of America. Now, the question posed by this video is, does U.S. immigration not like the K-1 visa? What are we talking about here? Well, we talked about this a lot back in 2020 and 2021, where it seemed like the Trump administration was kind of going out of its way to kind of drag its feet on a lot of immigration things. And then on top of everything, it seemed to sort of deprioritize the K-1 visa. And while the present administration has reversed a lot of that, there does seem to be this sort of institutional paradigmatic holdover, I guess you could call it. I'll say that again, institutional paradigmatic holdover. Kind of a way of thinking that, in my opinion, is still somewhat institutionalized, wherein fiancé visas, oddly, will sometimes end up moving faster than marriage visas, and there seems to be this kind of weird bureaucratic impetus to, it seems to me, to slow them down. Like there's a conscious effort to say, well, why are fiancés getting in faster? Well, in point of fact, they're getting in faster because they don't have the quagmire that is the National Visa Center to contend with when you're processing through that system, as opposed to the spousal visas, for example, the IR1 or the CR1 spousal visa, which does have to go through NVC. So long story short, and the thing to take away from this video is, yeah, K-1s, I wouldn't say the system doesn't like them. It's not able to do that, but there does seem to be a kind of methodical institution of a kind, I hesitate to call it benign neglect, but it just doesn't seem to be a priority as much as, and I'm not saying the K-1 was even a priority before. Maybe the more correct word to use it in the affirmative is it's been deprioritized. And although the laws don't necessarily reflect that under this administration, you can kind of feel it, at least in what we do around here day to day, which is, dealing with these cases. And it just kind of feels like, we don't love K-1 visas. But at the same time, quite honestly, the whole system, in my opinion, has been in a cocked hat since about 2018 onward. And then the pandemic on top of that just didn't really, well, let's be clear, the governmental responses to the pandemic did not help the situation. And that leaves us basically where we currently are. Now, all things considered, depending on your circumstances, the K-1 visa may absolutely be the best way for you to go. That said, there's a lot of variables to factor into the overall process. So for those who are looking into this earnestly, probably a good idea to contact a legal professional, gain some insight and guidance into how best to proceed.